Hello everyone, welcome back to the shed. I'm Lonnie, and today we are going to play around with some Raspberry Pis some more. So I've got two Raspberry Pis currently running and connected to Wi-Fi. This Raspberry Pi 400 and this is a Raspberry Pi 4. Both are powered up, both are running. I think they're both running a program also. Let's take a look. So if I go to Raspberry Pi Connect, I can look at the screen. This is a Nevercode 2. I'll do this one as well at the same time. And let's just make sure they're both up and running. They're both running demos that I created with Grok. They've been running for a while now. We've currently had 35,000 collisions on this screen. And probably somewhere around that many on the other one. Yeah, about 32,000 on this one. So they are up and running and doing their thing. So on my desk here, I have the Grok clock, which, well, you can sort of see what it does here. I'm not going to go too far into it. But whenever I made this, one of the reasons I made it like I did with the two screens is because I thought I would probably use it in future projects. And that is today. So I currently have Grok clock just plugged into USB power. I'm going to unplug that and I'm going to hook it up to this hub that is going to my MacBook Air. Okay, that's hard to do with one hand. And now that we've done that, I can go in and open. Whoops. I have to connect to it first. I'm in Thonny right now, by the way. Connect to it. Okay, I have my MicroPython prompt down here, and I'm just going to go in. I have it as main. I'm going to open that, and we're going to get, let's see, we're going to do Command All, and we're going to do a copy. And now I'm at Grok. And one thing I do whenever I'm vibe coding, I've been seeing that term so much lately. I take it as kind of a badge of honor that I can vibe code now. I love it. I know professional software developers, not so much, but you know, that's the way things are, I guess. So I have two Raspberry Pis. One is a 400, the other one is a 4. I also have a Pico with two LCDs attached. All three will be connected to the same Wi-Fi network. I'm about to paste the Python code for a project that is already using. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm laying out the hardware that's going to be used, and I'm telling it to stand by until I paste that code in. And all I want it to get is get a feel for how everything is attached to the Pico W in here. So we're going to go ahead and paste our code and let Grok take a look at it. Okay, and if we look at Grok's response, Grok has a handle on how everything is connected here, which is good. I think I'm probably going to use the buzzer too. I have a piezo buzzer inside of that box, and then it has the configuration of the top and bottom LCDs, and then which are kind of weird because they're both on. They both have the I2C address of 0x27, but they're on different I2C buses, so it's okay. That's kind of odd, but it's easier than soldering, right? It also has figured out how I'm handling the Wi-Fi credentials, which are stored in a file that is on the Pico W flash memory. Okay, so I'm going to ask Grok. I want to use the Pico W to monitor and display the current status of the two Pis. Top LCD, we'll say RPi 400, and then I have the bottom LCD is going to be for the RPi 4. Second line will give time since last boot. What is the best way to accomplish this? Don't write the code yet. We are still planning. And that is something I've kind of learned from using Grok is I like to tell it, like if I'm not done yet fleshing out the idea, I like to tell it don't code yet because we still want to talk about it. Because I find that if I just give it like a brief thumbnail of it and I haven't finished like discussing it with Grok yet, it will just blast off some code, and sometimes I can just get like sidetracked and start trying to work with the code it gave me or whatever. So I like to flesh out the plan all the way first. So Grok gave me several ideas. I'm going to go with HTTP server, and I'm going to have the Pico W request the same local IP address every time, which I've had that work fine before. But there are some other really good methods here. There's MQTT, and this is the one I would probably use if I want to make this really really hardened, or if I was going to do it outside of just the shed here. But for the purposes of today, we're going to do an HTTP server, and we're going to have this request the same IP address every time. Okay, so I just told Grok we're going to go with the HTTP server idea. And then I told it which IP address to always request. And I also told it, this is a problem I always have with whenever I get Grok to code it. The socket is always stays open, and then the next time I run it, I get an error. So I'm telling it to make sure to clean it up. I'm asking to if I need to install any libraries on the Pis. I want to know that now. No code yet, still planning here. And this is one of the dangers of vibe coding. It's like, no matter what I choose, like it told me the UDP option was best. But I went with what it didn't say was best, which was HTTP server. I chose that, and it still told me great choice. And it gave all the reasons why that's a great choice. So it will let you, like, I think this is a good way to do it for this video and for my situation. But Grok will not stop you from doing something dumb. Okay, I've been talking with Grok, and I asked Grok, what is an IP address that a router would rarely assign? And it's recommending 192.168.250. And it gave some solid reasons why. So I'm going to go with that. Okay, I'm really trying to avoid messing with my router. So I came up with an idea. I vibed. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to have the Pico try to connect to this IP address here. If it can't get that one, I'm going to have it try another IP address and another one and another one. We're going to have a total of 4 possibilities it can try. And the 2 Pis will also know the fallbacks. So whenever they post their data to the Pico W, then if they don't get a response back saying received, they'll know to switch their post to the next list in the fallback list of IP addresses. So really kind of a janky way to do this, but why not? We're vibing, right? Okay, I got Grok just to write the Pico code. Oh, it says Python. Is this supposed to say MicroPython here? We'll find out. We'll find out. Sometimes it mixes up MicroPython and Python, and there are some differences. Oh boy, we'll find out. Sometimes it uses like these ljust commands and stuff that just don't exist in MicroPython. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and then we're going to open Thonny. Okay, so in Thonny, I currently have Grok clock code set as main.py. I'm going to go ahead and just save that file, save as Raspberry Pi Pico. I'm going to save that. Well, it's already here as Grok clock. So I can delete main. I still have Grok clock there. Okay, so we're all set here. I'm going to go ahead and close this. We'll use a new file and we'll paste our code. And I'm going to save this out to the Raspberry Pi as main.py. And that means it'll run automatically. Well, I guess we could also test it. Let's see. We're going to run this script. Am I on? Yes, I am. Okay. We're going to run this script. I'm going to hit run. And it's trying to connect to those IP addresses. Is it failing? No way. IP fail, try again. Boy, I might have made this too complex. Okay, I'm not going to chase this too far. I'm getting IP failed. There's no way these 4 IP addresses are all taken. And I'm going to give Grok one shot at this to see if it can fix it. If it can't, I'm just going to assume shouldn't be taken. Okay. Let's see. Oh, the DHCP pool might not include those addresses, so it never assigns them. Okay, that is possible. Okay, let's try a different range. I'm gonna tell it to try a different range. Okay, here we go. Let's try a different range, like 120 to 123. Let's see what Grok thinks about that. And like I said, I'm just gonna try this once. Okay, I have the new code here. I'm gonna do a stop. We're gonna do a run. Let's see what happens. Got IP. IP try. Got IP. Okay, we're requesting these IP addresses and it's just not giving it to us. Got IP. All right, this is not working. I might have to go into my router. Okay, so I decided what I was doing was ridiculous. I went ahead and took 30 minutes to figure out how to set my router up, which I did right there. And I gave them all static IP addresses, even though the Pico was the only one that really needed it. So I'm letting Grok know what those static IP addresses are, which it should make it a lot simpler. Okay, code is all written. We'll copy. I was not looking forward. And you know what? That information was not really that easy to find either for that particular router. Okay. Wasn't really that obvious. Okay, let's see if it connects now. Wi-Fi okay. All right. And it's not getting any data, so it's fine. Okay, good. We have this part of the equation done now. Okay, so now I'm going to Raspberry Pi Connect. I've got the Pi 400, the little keyboard guy over there. I've got him pulled up on, I'm using the iPad as a second screen for the Mac. So this is the desktop of that Pi 400 right now. Okay, I'll let Grok know that the Pico code is working fine, and now I want the code for the Pi 400. Okay, so it got this code ready. It's really short, so I'm kind of hoping it just works. So I copied it from here, and then this is where we're gonna have to go in and, well, I'm full screen now. So you know what? I'm gonna come out of full screen because I think I need my little, yeah, here we go. I need to Control A that. Try again. Control A that. I'm going to delete it. And then I'm going to paste to remote. Allow. Okay, then we're going to run it. Are we receiving? Not yet, we're not. It's saying it got a response though. So maybe I just need to, maybe I need to start this up again. Let me try starting this up again. Okay, I'm not getting anything. Okay, so we're having some errors here. Sometimes it's saying received, and sometimes it's saying connection reset. Look right there. It says received, but we're still getting nothing here. So I'm going to tell Grok, oops, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so I'm just letting Grok know what's going on. The terminal output shows the Pico W is receiving the data usually, but there is no uptime displayed on the LCD. It still says NA. And then I told it here is what is on the console, the Pi 400, and then I gave it that. All right, so Grok gave me some new code to put on the Pico W. I'm gonna go ahead and run it. And I might go ahead and restart this too. Oh, look, and we're getting parse error. Okay, this will probably help it. This will help it. I'll be able to give it this. That's what vibe coding is all about right here. So I just take all this Pico W terminal output right here. I'm going to feed it to Grok. We're vibing. We are vibing. This is the essence of vibe coding, I feel. Okay, so after I posted that, after I posted the terminal output last time, it gave me this code, and now we have uptime, baby. Look at that. 4 hours and 35 minutes. Yeah, I guess that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Okay, cool. Let's put it on the other one now. Before I do that, I did want to make sure it was actually refreshing. And you can see it's supposed to get it about every 10 seconds. And you can see that uptime is changing. So we should see another one at about 4:36:18. So yeah, that's working. Sweet. So we can't use the same exact code because it identifies which Pi it is in the code. Device ID equals 4, see, for Pi 4. So I got Grok to generate the code for the other Pi. I have the other Pi pulled up right here. So we're going to copy from Grok, and then we're going to come over to the Pi 4 desktop, and we're going to paste to remote. Oops. Paste to remote. Okay. And run it. Let's go, baby. Okay. Look at that. Okay, we have both of them up now. That is nice. Okay. That's not enough, though. I want more data, so I'm going to ask the Grok. I'm going to ask Grok what other kinds of vital statistics we can put into this program. That'll be fun. Okay, here's what it's going with. CPU usage percentage, I like that. Memory usage, I like that one too. Disk usage, I like that one. Those are all great. Temperature, that's awesome. Network traffic, I don't care about that. I don't care about that quite as much. Process count, no. And load average, no. Okay, so I'm going to tell Grok. Okay, so here's the new plan. Okay, I want you to have them report the first 4 that you recommended. I want the bottom line of each LCD to cycle between each stat every 2 seconds. So top line is going to stay the same. Bottom line is going to rotate. Okay, and now Grok is generating, it's working on the Pi 4 code right now. On the weekends, it does get slow sometimes, but that's okay. And then here's the Pico W code. So now I have 3 new sets of code that I have to upload to each one of these Pis. Okay, so I went ahead and pasted all the code into all 3 Thonies. This is a mess. And I'm going to go ahead and run. Hopefully we don't have... Okay, error sending stats, and there's nothing receiving the stats yet. Okay, starting, okay, and then finally we're going to start running this guy. Wi-Fi okay. All right, we got a memory up there. Okay, I think the stats are starting to come in. Okay, uptimes are reporting again. CPU. Okay, memory, disk, and then back to uptime. So it's working. It's working great. It's working perfectly. I can't believe it. So now all I need to do, I need to save this out on the Pico as main. And then I need to save these out as some file. And I need to make sure that those files get automatically run when the Pis boot up. Okay, so I asked Grok, and I told Grok I'm a noob with Linux. And so it's taking me step by step. Open terminal, make a new directory called scripts, save the script, and it gives me the file name, tells me exactly where to save it. Okay. Verify it's there. Repeat the same steps on the Pi 4. And then we're going to edit cron tab, which I've heard of that before. I'm somewhat familiar with it. I know it exists anyway. Add the boot command. Okay, I'm going to go through all these steps and let's see what happens. Okay, so I followed all the instructions Grok gave me, and I'm going to include a blog post because I know there's a lot of like very technical stuff here. And any of you that are not familiar or not very good at Linux, like I'm not, it might come in handy. So I'm going to bring the clock over here. So we don't need to be connected to anything. Let's see. I do need a free Wi-Fi thing here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug both of, gracefully power down both of the Pis. And we're going to power up. We did save it as main.py on here. So we're going to power up old Grok clock. Watch it come up. Okay, and it's looking, but it ain't finding. I think it might have been a better idea to put like some kind of connection status over here to the right, but I'm not going to do that this time. Also, is it not cycling? It's not. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And we're going to go ahead and get both of the Pis back up and running. And I'm wondering if this thing is going to start refreshing once it starts getting new data, or if I'm going to have to reset it. This is vibe coding, y'all. No telling what's going to happen. I have a feeling it's... Oh, look, it was coming up. Okay, it wasn't cycling because it wasn't getting new data. Okay, we're starting to pull data now. Look at that. Uptimes that looks about right. Look at that. Less than a minute each. Heck yeah, this is awesome. This is cool. We did it. We vibe coded our way through what I consider that to be a pretty complex little project to be vibe coding like that. And it works. That's pretty fantastic. So I understand why, professional software developers get mad about vibe coding. I totally get it. I probably would too if I were them. But I also know that me, as someone that does not code professionally, I could not do any of this if it wasn't for vibe coding. I wouldn't be able to have put this together. So it's just a case of it wouldn't even happen. It's very fun for a hobbyist. Now, would I want to send this up on a SpaceX mission? that it has to work or something. No, obviously not. Like that's not the idea. The idea is I can dream up a project, vibe code it, and I've got a really good shot at making it work. So, like I said a minute ago, all of this stuff is going to be in the blog post that is going to be linked right down below if y'all want to give it a shot. I'm only going to include the last set of code, and if you do decide to use it, you're going to have to look at the IP addresses and figure out what's going to work for you, and you might have to change some of those parameters and whatnot, but everything's going to be in the blog post down below. Thanks a bunch for watching, and I will see y'all again very soon. Bye, y'all.